A big city Saturday with some snow flurries earlier in the afternoon. Thankfully, it looked pretty outside. There was no accumulation whatsoever. That track maintenance crew departed the inner track before the first race post at 12:45. And we got all 9 races in on a big Saturday afternoon here at Aqueduct. Welcome aboard, Maggie Wolfendale, Jason Blewitt, our clubhouse studios at the Big A. And let's be realistic, Maggie. It's only the first Saturday in February. A lot of more racing remains on the inner track, but this was the first day, at least in my book, in 2015, that it really felt like a big racing card here at Aqueduct.
Yeah, the energy was tangible here at the Big A. I love these 3-year-old preps that we have on the road to the Kentucky Derby. We started with Jerome, the Withers, but the momentum was building up. You really felt it. And we had a really dramatic showdown of races, including our featured Withers on the card, Jay. It was a really, really great days of racing.
A graded stakes doubleheader for you right now on Insider. John Abrial will take us through the action. It is the 135th running of the Withers, a Grade 3, $250,000 on the line, 17 Kentucky Derby points up for grabs. And here we go with the field of a half a dozen.
And they're off in a stumbling start for number 2, Far From Over, and he trails the field. Classy Class is going out for the lead with March. The two of them are heads apart with El Kabir now moving up on the extreme outside. Then it's General Bellamy, Tensendur down at the rail, and after that, Bad Beginning, Far From Over is the trailer in 6th. Classy Class leads here by a length and a half. El Kabir and March right together, 2nd and 3rd. Tensendur is 4th by a half length. General Bellamy on the outside in 5th and a gap of 5. Too Far From Over. And the half dozen 3-year-olds are heading up the backstretch. The opening quarter mile went in 24 and 2. And on the outside, El Kabir is up to challenge Classy Class for the lead. The two of them are stride for stride. They've got 2.5 lengths on March in 3rd, another 3 to Tensendur. Then it's General Bellamy, and Far From Over continues to trail. The half was run in 47 and 4/5 seconds, and now they begin the run into the far turn. El Kabir on the outside, Classy Class on the inside, and March is sitting just behind those two in 3rd. Farther back, Tensendur, General Bellamy, and Far From Over. Classy Class, El Kabir. Here comes March on the outside. The 3 of them arrive at the top of the stretch together. El Kabir and Classy Class, they continue to battle it out. March is tailed off in 3rd, and Far From Over, who had that terrible beginning, is making an unbelievable run here. Here comes Far From Over on the outside of El Kabir. Classy Class is down at the rail. It's Far From Over, and he's going to win the Withers with a terrific performance. Far From Over, over El Kabir and Classy Class.
Talk about an aptly named 3-year-old colt by Blame. Far From Over, indeed. They opened up the gate. He's the number 2 in the pink silks, and what a stumble. He's completely out of the race after the break, Maggie.
And I mean, you look at his only other start, and he was up on the engine. He was attending the pace that day, and I'm sure the connections thought, well, we'll kind of, you know, sit right outside of Classy Class. Totally taken out of his game here, and a really, really veteran-type ride by Manny Franco just to say, oh, okay, plan B, settle. And he comes from so far out of it. He's at least 10 lengths behind as they're going around the final turn.
Now, as of now, El Kabir, and you could tell he was having a hard time even pretty much staying with Classy Class. Chucky Lopez was really having to get after El Kabir to try to get past Classy Class, and you see Far From Over, who runs right on by everybody here beneath Manny Franco in those pink silks of Black Rock Thoroughbreds. What impressed you today about Far From Over?
That he, like I said, that he was completely taken out of what we thought was his game and showed a completely new dimension. I think he's just a horse who's still raw, who's incredibly talented and really, really nicely put together. He has an absolutely bright future. But the thing that matters most a lot in this game with these racehorses is their heart, and he's shown that will to win in both of his just 2 career starts.
The 3 C's for Manny Franco, cool, calm, and collected. He was standing alongside Maggie Wolfendale moments after dismounting Far From Over.
Well, this year's Withers Stakes was Far From Over. That is the winner of this year's edition, here with winning rider Manny Franco, picking up his first Grade 2 Stakes win in this Grade 3. Manny, the start had everybody's hearts in their throat.
Yeah, I wanna say thanks God first for make that possible happen. Yeah, my horse break a little. He break bad, and after that, I just let him go comfortable and try to come with him little by little. The rest.
And what were the instructions? I would think they wanted you forwardly placed, but you were out the back, but he came with a huge run.
Yeah, Byron told me try to go behind the speed, and after that, try to be in the clear and make you move.
And you did just the opposite, but congratulations. Well done with Far From Over.
Thank you, Maggie.
The other big two in the race, they ran well. They were right there. No match for Far For Over at crunch time. What'd you think of El Kabir first, finishing second?
Well, he did have to press Classy Class in here, Jay. I've always had my doubts about how far this colt really wants to go. He's not bred to go long. He's bred to be about a miler, and physically he looks like it. And I think we saw his undoing getting to that mile and a 16th here today.
First start since the Remsen for Classy Class. He was stubborn, hung in there, fairly late down towards the inside. He's another colt. By discreetly mind, do you think route races are in his future, or might it be best to maybe cut him back and point to races down the road like the Woody Stevens?
Sure, he might be a 7/8 to a mile type here, Jay, but he didn't have the recency as El Kabir, so I'm a little more willing to forgive his kind of running out of gas at the end than I am with El Kabir.
Fair enough. What about sprinters? They put on the show early on today. It was the Grade 3 Tobogen, a big purse, and John Abrial once again has this call with a field of 5.
And they're off. Saludos Amigos breaks well. Miwana Rose is on the outside, and Dad's Caps is to his inside. And now Dad's Caps goes on with it to take the lead. Miwana Rose in second. Saludos Amigos now back in third. Crafty Dreamer at the rail, and Double Down again is the trailer in fifth. Dad's Caps has a 2-length lead over Miwana Rose. Crafty Dreamer on the inside in third. Now Saludos Amigos has dropped 5 or 6 lengths off the lead. Double Down again is at the back. The quarter went in 23 seconds as they move around the turn. Dad's Caps opens up here by 3. Crafty Dreamer and Miwana Rose right together, second and third. Then it's Saludos Amigos and Double Down again as the field hits the top of the stretch. Dad's Caps ran the half in 45 1/5 seconds, and Dad's Caps has a 6-length lead. Saludos Amigos now moves into second and is gaining ground, but they're coming for the 16th pole. Dad's Caps try to hold on. Here comes Saludos Amigos. Saludos Amigos chalks up another stakes win. And Erod Ortiz Jr. has won the first 3 races on today.
In fact, a 5-win day here at Aqueduct for Erod Ortiz Jr. At least the third time Erod has won 5 races at Aqueduct. He did it a couple of times back in 2013, but this was the prize on the afternoon along with David Jacobson. And how about the performance from Saludos Amigos?
He's incredible, Jay. He is just in the form of his life right now for David Jacobson, and it's incredible to watch him because he's really the model of consistency. Each and every time he shows up on the racetrack, granted this is his home track, I think that probably helps him out a bit, but still, to keep him going like this is really, really a credit to Jacobson and his crew.
And he's done it all, this horse, over his last couple races, changing tactics, having a rally along the inside. In the Gravesend the day after Christmas, today had no positioning whatsoever in a short 5-horse field with a quality rival like Dad's Caps out there, blinkers on, by himself on the front end. Huge effort from Saludos Amigos, and of course Erod Ortiz Jr. pumped up. Maggie was with them moments after taking the stake.
Winning rider of today's Grade 3 Tobogen, Erod Ortiz, aboard Saludos Amigos. And Erod, this is your second stakes win in a row consecutively with this horse. He seems to just explode for you at the 8th pole.
Yes, first thing I want to say is thanks God and thanks the trainer and the owner for giving me the opportunity and ride this horse today. And he's a great horse, you know, and you can watch all his races. He always try hard. That's the 4th time I win the horse, and now he's doing great. And the trainer bring it very ready because when I hit it by the quarter pole, he's slow, like you say, he was rolling. You know, I say I got a chance to win the race because
Erod Ortiz Jr. at the top of his game. 5 wins, the aforementioned Big 5 on the afternoon. And how about Salute Those Amigos? He does seem, Maggie, like a horse who just thrives on running.
He does. I mean, you love to have an old campaigner like this in your arsenal. And we like to have him here at Aqueduct because he puts on a show each and every time he shows up. We have a nice series of these kind of stakes for the older sprinters. So it's great to see him showing up each and every time.
No rest for the weary. There is David Jacobson alongside Stephen Travers, who works for the New York Racing Association, and Southern Equine has got a good one here. Of course, they bought back into this horse.
Yes.
David had purchased him privately last winter, early last winter. He got on a bit of a run. They bought back in, and it's paid dividends, and it may pay further dividends down the line because David did express post-race today that the General George is on the radar, President's Weekend down at Laurel, and the Golden Shaheen on the Dubai World Cup undercard. Wow. Way out on the other side of the world, way out over in Medan for a purse of a few million.
Yeah, I mean, he's shown that he doesn't mind shipping, but I don't think that Breeders' Cup really worked out the way that they wanted to after they ran him back on a week's rest and shipped him out to California. So I'd love to see him winning down in my home track at Laurel. Sure. But, yeah, best of luck with them because they have a very talented sprinter.
And best of luck in this double carryover Pick 6. The Pick 6 has gone on hit since last Sunday. A lot of money up for grabs in the pool, and a non-winner is a one that looks like an absolute inter-track war when we come back on Insider. Pretty scene here at Aqueduct, high above the half-mile pole tower at Aqueduct. We're looking southeast, in fact, into Jamaica Bay. A chilly day here. We had that light snow flurry, but the snow tapered off. Intertrack was fast, that nice golden brown look. And this was just a solid card from top to bottom, Maggie. And I think outside of the stakes, race number 5 was a highlight, too.
It really was, because from a betting perspective, this offered the most value. I mean, looking up at the board several times, the shortest price was 7-2 and the highest price was 7-1. So this was a great matchup, and you said it. It was a true intertrack war.
Right, 7 horses, 22 wins combined, and this is a non-winners of 1. So think about that as we get them in the gate. John Embrial with the call once again as we sprint the 3/4 on the inner.
And they're off. Chapman and Billy the Bull from the outside. Classic Salsa now coming up in between horses, and Marble Falls closest to the rail as they head up the backstretch. It's Billy the Bull and Classic Salsa heads apart. Marble Falls just in behind in 3rd, and Chapman is now racing in 4th. A break of 2 to Seagate in 5th. Another 2 lengths to Leilani's Ticket, and March 2, the trailer, in 7th. The quarter 22 and 4/5 seconds. Classic Salsa and Billy the Bull 1-2 around the far turn. Marble Falls comes through now down at the rail. That is a length and a half to Chapman, who's running in 4th. Farther back, it's Seagate. Leilani's Ticket in March 2. Into the stretch. Classic Salsa, Billy the Bull, and Marble Falls. 3 of them across the track for the lead. It's 3 lengths to Chapman, and Leilani's Ticket on the outside as they pass the furlong marker. Classic Salsa with the lead. Out in the middle of the track, it is Leilani's Ticket and Chapman, and they're both gaining ground on Classic Salsa. It's a 3-way photo finish. Was it Classic Salsa? Was it Leilani's Ticket? Or was it?
Oh, there was a couple of desperate photos on the inner track today. One in race 4, this one in race number 5. A 3-horse photo. And what could you say? Classic Salsa, a heart as big as Aqueduct.
Really, really, truly. And David Jacobson kind of rounding things out with this win for a pretty good day. But don't take anything away from the 2 horses that finished 2nd and 3rd to him. Chapman, he always shows up, as well as Leilani's Ticket. And I mean, look at that photo. Just literal noses separating the 3 of them.
David ran the right one. He had entered Classic Salsa as an entry mate to Stall Walking Dude. Scratched that horse around 10 a.m. this morning and ran Classic Salsa, who, when you talk about David being sharp regarding those acquisitions, well, he picked up Salute Those Amigos as a private buy. He reclaimed Classic Salsa, had lost this horse, and this horse was part of the acquisition with Salute Those Amigos from Southern Equine last winter, and Classic Salsa has been better than ever with that barn and Angel Cruz, the winning rider. And I like that Salute Those Amigos by Salute the Sarge, and this horse is by Two Step Salsa. You are about as far away from a designer pedigree as possible. Both these horses for Jacobson are pretty good.
I know. I love seeing horses with these kind of pedigrees just win and win and win. And even going back to the Tobogen, I mean, you look at most of the sires on that page, Jay, and they're really blue-collar sires. So just goes to show you that anything can happen in horse racing.
Hey, we're in a blue-collar neighborhood. This is a blue-collar track, a real working-class ethos, and a good amount of diversity in the stands at Aqueduct. Let's move it ahead. Race number 6 on the card, Via Strada, the one most people were focused in on. She'll try to make it 2 for 2, is the big favorite in this non-winners-of-one allowance.
Strada moving up from the outside, check up from Zinekup. Now gains ground as the field races into the turn. Irish sweepstakes from that inside post. Narrowly over checkup from Zinekup. Via Strada's on the outside, a close-up third. A break of 3. Back to Lucky Nancy E, who's racing in 4th. Then it's Ginny's Gray and Whispering. Those two are right together. Bounty Pink is down at the rail. A break of 3 to Rock Me Mama. Then it's Wraith. And Pebble Beach Baby trails the field in 10th. The opening quarter was run in 23 3/5 seconds. And the favorite, Via Strada, has gone on to take the lead. The lead is a length over checkup from Zinekup. Irish Sweepstakes is racing in 3rd. On the far outside is Whispering in 4th. Then Ginny's Gray in between horses in 5th. Lucky Nancy E down on the inside in 6th. Followed by Bounty Pink, Rock Me Mama, Pebble Beach Baby, and Wraith trails to half 47 4/5 seconds. The field moves around the far turn. Via Strada on top here by a length. Checkup from Zinekup is 2nd, and Irish Sweepstakes is 3rd. Whispering is 4th. Off the turn into the stretch. Via Strada with the lead. Ran 3/4 in 1:13, and it's Via Strada now by 3 lengths. Check up from Zinekup and Irish Sweepstakes. They're right together, 2nd and 3rd. Via Strada and Erod Ortiz Jr. with the lead. Irish Sweepstakes now in 2nd. Erod Ortiz Jr. win number 4. He does it on Via Strada. Irish Sweepstakes was 2nd. Checkup from Zinekup.
Good 24-hour span here at the Big A in Queens for Sheikh Mohammed. A nice winning yesterday's Lady with divided attention. And how about this homebred filly by Street Cry?
Well, we were just on about blue-collar horses. Well, she is not that.
She's got the royal blue on, though.
Yes, she does. Yeah, the royal, hence that. But this filly, look, she's loving every bit of this performance here. Ears pricked the entire time. She set very honest, incredible fractions throughout and just commanded this field. She was impressive, I thought, and only her 2nd start.
For a barn, when you talk about trainers and second-time starters, even if they've won their debuts, Kieran McLaughlin, I mean, nationally is near the top of the list. I mean, there's nobody better with second-time starters, and I think she kind of tipped her hand to what she wants to do today because her sprint race was okay.
I didn't think it was that good.
Not as good as this.
This was much better, I thought, as far as fractions were concerned, as far as comfortability in her stride. She really put it all together, and you got to think, Jay, they're always seeking, you know, that black type. Her next start's got to be a stake race, right?
And she's here in New York. Kieran's done a very good job over the years picking out which horses may need a little extra time to develop against slightly lesser competition, and I think he's played his hand correctly with Via Strada. We'll look forward to her down the road. And for us down the road, well, it's the remainder of this double pick 6 carryover. Johnny I, he's in the booth. You know that. And let's get to the rest of Saturday's card.
For the quarter pole, American Progress continues to lead. Looking out for you, giving chase in 2nd. Sharp Quality is 3rd. Farther back, it's Island Therapy. American Progress opens up here in the stretch. It's American Progress now by 5 lengths. Looking out for you, trying to hold on to 2nd. Native Hero gains on the outside with Island Therapy, but no threat to the winner. American Progress. Native Hero up for 2nd. Looking out for you was 3rd. As the field heads for home over the speed limit with the lead here. Moonlight Party and Hollywood Angel giving chase 2nd and 3rd over the speed limit is holding on to the lead with 1/8 of a mile to the finish over the speed limit now by 4 over the speed limit. Will score here in front-running fashion. Super Service is moving up on the outside, and Super Service will complete the exacta. Hollywood Angel did get third. Moonlight Party was fourth. In Motion is now gearing up on the outside. The half was running 46 2/5 seconds. Super Nicky has the lead. Key in Motion moves into second. Boss Daddy is dropped back. Then Awesome Loot. It is Super Nicky with the lead. Key in Motion giving chase. Awesome Loot. One last run on the outside. Super Nicky, Awesome Loot, Mineral Water coming late. They come for the wire, and it's a photo finish at the end. A photo between Awesome Loot and Super Nicky. The beat. The half mile was strong, 45 seconds. Eklaus on the outside and Lord Commander on the inside. The two of them remain right together as they pass the 8th pole. They've got 3 lengths on Tis the Moment, and King Rontos now is 16th out. Lord Commander and Eklaus. Lord Commander with the lead. They come for the wire, and Herod Ortiz Jr.'s done it again. Victory number 5. He wins here on first-time starter. The field comes into the stretch. It's Night Patrol with the lead. Tyrus is second, and Dr. Disco up on the inside in third. Mophead is fourth. Night Patrol has a 5-length lead, and Night Patrol extends that lead, pouring it on here in the stretch. It's all Night Patrol to win the nightcap. Dr. Disco was second, then Mophead and Tyrus.
It was all about David Jacobson's star sprinters the first half of this card, and Herod Ortiz Jr. throughout. But what about the 3-year-olds? They took center stage in the latter portion of today. Obviously, we've talked in depth about the Withers, but Todd Pletcher, good-looking firster by Giants Causeway, took all sorts of play. 5-2 is closing odds, and Lord Commander would not be denied in race 7.
Right, Jay. He took all the late money in here, and kind of going into this race, especially from my perspective, you look at this horse's pedigree. He's by Giants Causeway. They usually win the turf or to run long. The dam side, the dam was an okay sprinter, but all the other ones wanted turf. And I looked at him, I said, he's a dirt sprinter. And he really proved that. And he ran fast, Jay. I mean, his opening 2 fractions were faster than Dad's caps in the toboggan. I think there's something to be said about that as well. And, I mean, he just led every step of the way, and he might be okay for Todd Pletcher.
Such is the life for Todd Pletcher. He wins that race to the 7th, comes back, takes the Withers, and about 10 minutes after taking the Withers, he wins the Suwannee River down at Gulfstream Park on the turf with a good-looking foreign bred and Javier Castellano. Boy, oh boy, and they still have yet to run the Don, and Todd will send out a 3-pronged attack against the defending winner, Lee. So we'll see how the Pletcher barn does the remainder of this Saturday. Let's get to the Frost Giant New York bred standout, shall we? And we get back to another tight photo on today's card with the Frost Giant New York bred standout. It was Jeremiah Englehart running down Jeremiah Englehart back in race number 4. Thank you very much.
Kudos to Jeremiah, who took this horse off of a win, a dead heated win last time out for Rick Schosberg, and he really ran well. He's been a horse that's, you gotta get your timing right on him, because he wants to suck out of it, he wants a clear track to run at, and he got it today. So well done, a good ride and a good training job.
It all worked out. The fast pace was there, and just narrowly up over his stablemate, uncoupled stablemate, the number 9 Super Nicky, gelding by Midnight Loot, a 4-year-old. And here's one of our favorite stallions, Frost Giant, standing for $10,000 in 2015 at Keat Stud. To inquire, contact Eric Bishop. How about the rider standings here with another Saturday down? And this was the Saturday with the big race feel to it. Jose Ortiz, 53, but Erod gained some traction today with that big showing.
Did he ever? 5 wins on the card, so he puts him in 5 races within his brother. Manny Franco rounding things out in 3rd.
And David Jacobson, if my memory serves correct, ended Friday with 20. He now has 22. A good job earlier in the day, but Gary Gullo won the nightcap, and his horses continue to run well.
And that they do. He's hitting at such a high percentage right now, having a really, really good inner meet. And Todd Pletcher, he's always hanging around there, and well done Byron Hughes, his main assistant here in New York.
Very talented young horseman. Todd won a couple today, and Rudy Rodriguez won the first race off the claim with American Progress, and David Jacobson, your leading owner, with 10. Poli Stable ran a couple short-priced horses, Dr. Disco, and the beaten favorite in today's first race off the claim. That was Looking Out for You, who chased 3 wide. Didn't show up with a good effort, but there you go. The people that pay the bills, and we're happy to show the owner standings. What about the claims? A quiet day via the racing office and the claim box, but a couple horses picked up out of today's nightcap.
Yeah, and Dr. Disco going back to his original owner in Joe DeRico, Nick Essler. Word having they may have claimed this one to retire him. We'll see how he comes out of that second place finish in the last, as well as the winner going to David Jacobs.
And the winner who won by a lot. But we have our Sunday preview coming up. No triple pick six carryover, and the proof is in the picture. Everybody enjoying this Saturday at the Big A. Stay tuned here on MSG Plus. Dusk has settled in here to Aqueduct. Getting dark outside, but we're a few moments away from saying goodnight. Thanks for staying with us in the home stretch. Coming down to the checkered lines on that inside rail, it's Maggie, Jason, all of you on Aqueduct Insider. It's time now for our Sunday preview, Maggie, and a pretty solid featured third race on the program, but two other than $62,000 optional claimer to my own 70 yards, and this is a race led by celebrated talent who's been pretty good off the claim for Linda Rice.
He really has. Linda's done a great job with this horse. He was lone speed last time here, Jay, and he took advantage of it, but he did it in the way you want to see him do. I mean, he pulled away from the rest of this field, and, you know, he might face a little bit better quality of horse as he does take the next step up here in class, but, I mean, he kind of looks like the speed again, so we'll see.
David Jacobson scratched Snake Pit here on Thursday. He opted to run another horse, and he will go with Snake Pit, who was very game and took him a while to get going, but once he did, he turned back Conspiracy.
Yeah, once he switched leads here in the stretch, he then went off to win by a length, and we'll see that here as he comes up to the wire. I found it interesting that David scratched him out of the same kind of race he took him in, but it's almost like this race is a little bit easier than that spot.
Sure, and I misspoke. That race was actually Friday and won by that good Chris Engelhard horse coming up from Parks. As we look at Don Dolce in this race, Don Dolce going out for Michael Wilson off a trainer change.
It's been a while since Don Dolce has won. Yes, he's going to lose by a nose here. Excuse me, but he's been a little bit spotted in his last couple. You know, he's been in stakes races. This is a little bit more of a viable spot for him. Mike Wilson does a good job. He's coming in fresh. I think that's what he needs. Barry K. Schwartz sending Mike Wilson some horses this winter, and Mike, a guy who's based right here at Aqueduct. Don Dolce, the New York bred, out for lifetime winner, or Kentucky bred, excuse me, by Maria's Mon, out for lifetime win number 8. Now let's get back to today's Withers, Maggie, that bad stumble, game effort from Far From Over. What did he look like to you in the winner's circle right after the race? Well, there wasn't anything superficial, Jay, and a lot of times when you see horses stumble as bad as he had, they grab a quarter, they cut into themselves in some sort of way. I didn't see anything, any cuts on him whatsoever. I stood right behind him when they took the picture. You know, he did kind of fling that left fore out a bit. Hopefully everything's fine. He looked good to me coming back, though. He is just a beautiful animal. I mean, just so well balanced. I just really like him moving forward, as I mentioned earlier, and so hopefully he emerges out of this one in tip-top form.
How pivotal the next 12 hours with this guy? I mean, between tonight and getting to the barn tomorrow morning for training.
Actually, it might be a little bit more than that to really see how he is. A lot of times the adrenaline's still flowing. It's usually 2 days after. I know me, I'm more sore, you know, second day after an excruciating exercise. So hopefully he's fine. We'll find out, I think, as the week progresses.
And you and I will be in the gate 6 p.m. MSG Plus right here tomorrow for the Sunday edition of Aqueduct Insider. It was a terrific Saturday. We hope you did okay at the windows, and thanks again for tuning in on MSG Plus.